How's all doing? I'm going to talk about my Atari 2600 games, and I'm going to tell you what I think about them and my memories of these games are. You know, uh, I'm not sure how many Atari 2600 games I own, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 60. And what I have here is just a small collection of them games, you know. So, yeah, I'm going to start with this one, Pac-Man for the Atari 2600, you know. Made by Namco in 1981. Um, uh, now, this is the 2600 version. I think it came out in the arcade in 1980, and then it came out on the 2600 in 1981. I was only 1 years old when this game came out. I was born in 1979, so forgive me if my memory is hazy. I was only 1 years old. But this was a smash hit success. This game made loads of money. It was a fun game, great game. You play as Pac-Man, you go around the maze eating the dots and stay away from the ghosts. There's power pellets, you eat them and then you eat the ghosts. And there's fruit, you eat the fruit, you get more points. And it was just a great game, a phenomenal game, because it was the first game where you go around eating stuff. Prior to this, most Atari games and arcade games were just about shooting stuff or driving games, or spark games or ping pong. So this is the first sort of game where you run around eating stuff. It was a unique game, a brilliant game, you know. But the Atari 2600 version was not as good as the arcade version. It was disappointing in a lot of ways. It didn't look like the arcade version. It didn't sound like the arcade version. And it was just a big disappointment. Atari rushed this game to get it out because they knew it would make money, and that was a big mistake. They should have taken their time with this game and make it perfect. But they didn't. That's one of the things Atari did back in the past, because it was a great arcade title. They rushed it out to make even more money on the home console version. So the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man is disappointing. But it's still a playable game, it's still enjoyable. But if you're a hardcore Pac-Man fan, you're going to be really disappointed in this. But my personal experience with this game, the Atari 2600 version, is I had fun playing the game despite it not being arcade perfect. So for what it is, it's still a good game to play. Now, if I was an ultra hardcore Pac-Man fan, I'd burn this cartridge, and I'd say a lot of hardcore Pac-Man fans did, because it was very disappointing. Because I say Atari hyped the hell out of this just to sell it. It's still playable, still enjoyable, but it's just a disappointing version of the game. So if I was to give the Pac-Man on the Atari 2600 a rating out of 10, I'd give it 7 out of 10. It's still a playable game, still an enjoyable game. It's just not Pac-Man, you know. It's just not like the arcade version at all. It's still playable, still enjoyable. I mean, the basic concept of the game is the same. It just doesn't look or sound like the arcade version. So we'll give it a 7 out of 10. You know. So yeah, we've got a lot of our Atari 2600 games. But one more thing I'll say about Pac-Man is that it was very popular. I remember playing this in Mosney back in the day, and the queues were fucking, sorry about the language, were literally out the door. I'd be waiting a good 5-10 minutes just to play this game, queuing up to play it. It was that popular and it was making that much money. Before Pac-Man, you had Space Invaders, and that was the top video game in the arcade. It was making the most money. In comes Pac-Man and takes top spot, and rightfully so. So yeah, that's just another thing about it. So yeah, Pac-Man. Yeah, and Pac-Man is so popular that it's still going today. So that'll tell you how good of a franchise it is for Namco. Right, so on to the next game. Next Atari 2600 game, Maze Craze. Right, now this came out in 1978. This came out before I was born. The Maze game, you play as the robbers and you're trying to get away from the policeman. It's a maze game, different mazes, and you have to get out before they catch you. It's one or two. It's 1 or 2 players, so it's a maze game. So it's pretty fun for what it is. Um, Nothing too complicated, nothing too stressful, and there weren't that many maze games. So it was good. It was a good game. I don't know if this was in the arcade or not, but yeah, it's a good game. Would recommend it if you want to play a maze game. It's pretty cool. And there's different modes where the walls are invisible, which makes the game really hard trying to get out of the maze. And red and blue dots. Red is 1 player, blue is 2 player. Or I think that's how it goes. Yeah, or shoot the way around. But yeah, it's a good fun maze game. So for this, we'll give it 7 out of 10 as well. It's nothing stellar by any means, but it's still a good, enjoyable game, And the Atari 2600 has hundreds and hundreds of games, both by companies and homebrew games by fans. It's unlikely that I'll have every single game, and I wouldn't have enough room for every fucking game. So sorry about the language, but there's that many games, really. I think the only other console that beats it in terms of its library is the PlayStation 2, because the PlayStation 2 lasted the longest out of any game console, I believe. So yeah, great stuff. So on to the next game, Centipede. Now this is one of my favourite games of all time. I played this non-stop in Mosney, and when I finally got it for myself, I was playing it non-stop, and still to this day I play this game all the time. And with the Atari VCS, this is the first game I'm going to play when I get it. Centipede came out in 1982. The arcade version has better graphics. You play as this boy, you shoot all the pieces of the centipede, and the spiders and locusts flying across the screen. It's just a bright, colourful, fast action game, and it's very addictive, And this is Atari at their best, in my opinion. Centipede. It was made by a female developer, Donna Bailey, which was good because it was unheard of a woman programming video games back in that time. It was mostly just men, but she programmed it. One of my favourite games was programmed by a woman, so there you go. It's an awesome game. Brilliant, just brilliant. They were queues at this game as well because everyone wanted to play it. So Centipede, it's brought me hours upon hours of fun, and I never get bored playing this game. When I'm on my break and work, I play this a lot. It's just a brilliant game, in my opinion. If you have a 2600, you should have this game, or check it out at some level. You can get it in multiple different ways. I like collecting the cartridges and the consoles, something you can hold in your hand, which is cool. And there's different labeled. There's a silver version, there's a red version, which is this one. So yeah, brilliant stuff. So Centipede, I'd have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's just an awesome game. The arcade version is better, has better graphics, and brilliant stuff. Now on to the next game, which is a brilliant game also. Berserk, right? Now, this was in the arcades, but I never got a chance to play it. I never actually saw it in Mosney, but it was an arcade game. You play as this boy here going around the maze shooting these robots, and they start off slow, but they get faster and faster. They shoot faster and faster, and every so often this bouncy smiley face called Evil Otto comes for you, and you can go through the walls and all. Now, if you touch the walls of this maze, you get electrocuted. So it's fast, frantic gameplay with great sound effects. Now at the time, it was hard for me to get this game on a cartridge, Berserk. It was hard to find. I couldn't find it in England. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I really had to search the entire area to get this game, because I really wanted to get it. Because everyone was saying to me, if you have an Atari 2600, you should get Berserk. but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I kept looking on eBay and Amazon, and one day on eBay I found this Berserk in Mexico, right, Mexico. A fellow was selling it, and that's his writing on it, I believe, I think. And I really wanted to get this game, so price was no object. I never told us anyone, but Berserk here, we paid €120 for this. And I never told that to anyone, and if I did, the price say, "You madman, why did you get this for 120? It's not worth it. You can get it for free on smartphones or a tablet." But at the time, I didn't know about that. At the time, I didn't know that you can get this on emulators on a smartphone or the Atari Flashback series or anything. I didn't know any of that existed. I thought the only way that you could play this game is on the Atari 2600. But if I'd known that, I wouldn't have shelled out 120. But I really wanted to get this game, and I wasn't willing to wait because I'm an impatient person. That's maybe my downfall, but just a brilliant game. Again, I played hours on end. I wish I could play the arcade version. If this was in the arcade, I believe it was. I'd love to play the arcade version, but it's just a brilliant game in my opinion. I'd have to give it 10 out of 10. It's just a brilliant game, in my opinion. It's up there with Centipede, in my opinion. You know, it's just a brilliant game. So, yeah. On to the next game, which is a classic also. If you have an Atari 2600 or plan on getting one or whatever, Yars Revenge, right? This is a brilliant game also. You know, I believe this was made in 1981. I forget the name of the guy who made it. Some bally headed fella. Amazing game. You play it's this fly here, if that's what it is. And there's this thing called a quotal. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's behind the shield. And you have to shoot through the shield, right? And once you shoot through the shield, if you touch them, you charge up the super cannon. And you have to shoot them with the super cannon. But you have to move out of the way and not get hit by your own cannon. It comes from the side of the screen like that, and it hits your man. And he goes up and down the screen like this, behind his shield. You have to time it right so you can move out of the way and hit him. So it's a very challenging game. Something so simple, it's so challenging and addictive, I think, because you have to constantly keep moving, because there's this projectile coming for you, you know what I mean, and follow around the place, and it gets faster and faster. So it's imperative that in this game you fly around and don't stay still. And the shield gets harder and harder to destroy. So it's a very fun, challenging game, and it's a very unique game. It has great sound effects, I think. Same as Berserk has great sound effects. That's one thing that Atari games are known for, having great sound effects and great gameplay. So yeah, I hope Yars Revenge and Berserk wind up on the Atari VCS and the Atari Vault. I think it'd be awesome. I think this definitely will, because this has been on the Atari Flashback series everywhere. So yeah, because it's I think this is seen as more popular than Berserk. More people will know about Yars Revenge, I guess, than Berserk. You know, so yeah, 10 out of 10 for Yars Revenge. It's a brilliant game, I have to say. And we first played the Atari 2600 with friend Chris McAvoy. I don't know if we should have given out his real name, but that's who he is. He had an Atari 2600, and that's where I first played the Atari 2600, in his house, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great. But at the time, I was playing the NES as well and the Sega Mega Drive, and the NES and the Mega Drive were just far more superior in terms of games and graphics and everything. But I still loved the stuff on the Atari 2600 because it reminded me of Mosney, you know. Because we went to Mosney 1980 up to 1999, and every year there'd be new games for me to play. So when I saw, a few years later, when I saw Chris's Atari 2600, I thought I enjoyed it. You know, I always liked it, you know, but I like it more now than I did back then, you know. So yeah, if it wasn't for Chris and his Atari 2600, because that was the first time I got to play the Atari 2600, I can't remember what year that was. It was after 1988 or something, I think so. Around that time. Chris might probably will know the exact year, I don't know. But I'm sorry if I use your last name, Chris. I know I shouldn't do that. But what the hell, you know? Sorry. So anyway, we'll continue. And Chris, if you are watching this video, good luck in the future, and I hope your family's doing well and everything. And keep working on that game. And who knows? And the Atari VCS is an open platform. You can put it onto that if you want to. If you wanted to, we can get to play it that way, because it is a Linux PC, an open Linux PC. So, yeah, I don't know how exactly that works, but I don't know. There you go. So anyway, back to the games. Battlezone. Now this was in the arcade. I never got to play it. I wish I had. Because I was playing Space Invaders all the time, Centipede, Pole Position. And then Pac-Man, because these games I just wanted to play the most. Mate, I think this was there, I just don't remember. I don't remember playing it in the arcade in Mosney, because that was the only, apart from Barney's in town, but that was, my mum wouldn't let me go there because I was too young. She wouldn't let me go by myself. So I was only a kid, so Mosney was the only chance I got to play Atari games. And Battlezone is a tank, you're inside a tank, you have to shoot other tanks and airplanes and space and UFOs. It's a very unique Atari game. It's a 3D perspective. You get the feeling you're in a 3D environment. It has a radar and all, so very advanced for the Atari 2600, you know. And it's just an amazing fun game. It gets really, really hard. And every 50,000 points you get an extra tank. So it's brilliant. I think it's 10 out of 10, you know. This never for some reason, this I hope this is on the Atari VCS. It should be, you know. So Battlezone, an amazing game. It really is. We'll give it 10 out of 10 again. I would, seriously. It's just a brilliant game. It's so good that PSVR has Battlezone on it. So there you go, like, you know. We've got loads of Atari games, loads of them. You know, I don't know how many Lucas said, so. Right. Miss Pac-Man. Now, this was Atari's apology for messing up Pac-Man, you know. This came out in 1985. Atari Corp. Now, it is an Namco game, you play as Miss Pac-Man. It's pretty much arcade perfect. You eat the power pads, you eat the ghosts. It's just a great game. It's a great game. It's an apology, and it works pretty well. You know, the damage had been done, if you know what I mean. But we forgave Atari. You know, we moved on. You know, yeah. You know, but some people probably didn't and say screw it. But they're very bitter people. But Miss Pac-Man, awesome game. And like I said, some of the games have the silver artwork. I actually prefer the silver artwork over the over that style. That's just my own personal opinion, you know. You know, or that one, you know. I think the silver stands out more, you know. I think it looks better. You know, I think it looks better. That's just my own personal preference, you know. And the black and red labelling, I just prefer that sort of label. So yeah, brilliant. 9 out of 10. I mean, it's just brilliant. I never played this in the arcade. I played Pac-Man okay, but I never played this. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Great stuff. You know, on to a favourite of mine, Pole Position. Made by Namco again. Namco made a lot of games for Atari. So yeah, fair play to them, you know. And Namco came out in 1982. That was a great year for a game in 1982. It just was. All these great games, like, you know. Pole Position, F1 driving game. You just pass all the cars, and you you have to get as far as you can before time runs out, and you crash, you lose time. Every 10,000 points, the timer goes back to 60 seconds. So it's pretty awesome. Now the Atari 2600 version just lacks the graphics. You know, it doesn't have any grass on the sides, or them the cars that you pass are just yellow. So it's just lacking the graphics, but the gameplay is intact, and that's what matters. You know, fast. It looks like you're driving fast, and you're passing all the cars. There's just one track. I forget the name of the actual track, but it's an awesome game. Now the thing is, when you start up the game, it says copyright 1983, but on the label there it says 1982. So I don't know what the confusion there is. So yeah, but when you actually start up the game, it says 1983. So I don't know. Now in the arcades, it was 1982. So this label was obviously made when the arcade version came out. I don't know. So it's an awesome game. Very basic, but it's fun. So yeah, pole position, we'll give it a 9 out of 10. You know, it's a brilliant game, like, you know. And if you have an Atari 2600, we'll get one. You know. So many awesome games on the Atari 2600s. Phoenix, this came out in 1988. This is when Atari was really at the end, you know. With the 2600, you know. I think after this they stopped making games for the system themselves, but fans continue to make homebrew games and stuff. So this is Phoenix. It's a shoot 'em up game, something similar to Space Invaders, except the enemies come at you like they fly down on different trajectories trying to trick you. Whereas in Space Invaders, they just move left to right, left to right, left to right. But in Phoenix, they come down like this and all over the place, making it hard to shoot them. And you have shields in this game, so but if you activate the shield, you can't move, and the shield lasts about 3 or 4 seconds. So yeah, it's a brilliant game. And there's these boards. See the boards? They're enemies in the game, and you shoot off their wings, and then they just shoot their faces. So it gets harder and harder to hit them, you know. And then at the end of that, there's like a big mothership with a big shield protecting it. You have to shoot through the shield to destroy it. So it's a great game. We enjoy it. I don't know if this was in the arcade or not. I don't know. I don't remember it being in the arcade, but I never played it anyway. So I don't know if it was or not. But brilliant game. And awesome. I hope this is on the Atari VCS when it comes out. You know. On to the next game. Right, this is Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600, right? Now, this is made by Nintendo, 1983. I think this was an arcade game, but I never played it in the arcade. But this was before Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a one or two player game, and the whole thing is there's pipes on the other side, and there's platforms like that going down, right? And turtles and stuff come out. You jump on them and you collect the coins that come out of them, and you keep collecting as many as you can before you die. So it's pretty simple, pretty basic, but it's a fun game, you know, and it's great, and it's one of the better. The graphics in the game are very good. Like Mario and Luigi actually look like human beings. Before this, most Atari games are just a square or a circle. So the characters actually look like characters, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, it's a pretty fun game. Have fun with it. So we'll give it a 9 out of 10 again. Like, it's not a bad game by any means, and if you're gonna get the Atari 2600, we'll get it. Just now there are some terrible games on the Atari 2600. Not all of them are great, but the majority of them are because they're simple, fun games. There's nothing fucking complicated. Sorry about the language. Now, this is a game, unfortunately, that's in the bad category, at least in my opinion. Right, Superman, right, the Man of Steel, right. This game is a confusing mess. It's hard to understand how to play the game. It came out in 1979 by DC Comics, and this is the PAL version, as you can see. This is one of the early launch games because you can see there's no artwork or no. This is when the Atari 2600 first launched. This is how the cartridge looked. There was no artwork to it because we're just starting off, Superman. Now the actual box art is fucking amazing looking. It's like straight out of the comics, but the game itself is a confusing mess. What I understand is Lex Luthor has destroyed this bridge, right? And there's parts of it scattered throughout Metropolis. And had to fly around, collect them and bring them and fix the bridge. Why? To let traffic go through or something? I don't know. I should have read the manual, but I didn't want to. I didn't think I'd need to. But that's what seems to be the thing, right? Now, there's fellas in helicopters and there's other bad guys out to kill you, right? So, you walk into a phone booth, you turn to Superman, and you're flying around getting pieces of this bridge. And these guys are trying to stop you. And there's something that looks like a jail, and you fly around, you pick a bag up, you put them in the jail cell, and sometimes Lex Luthor will use kryptonite. It doesn't even look like kryptonite, just like a fucking X that flashes, and if you touch off that, you turn back into Clark Kent, And the only way to turn back into Superman, you have to find Lois Lane. She's walking around, you kiss her, and then you become Superman again. Now, that's how I understand it. I could be completely wrong about how I described that, but that's what it seems like to me when I play the game. I'm surprised I had the patience to sit through that, but because I really wanted to give this game a chance for it being Superman. There's not that many Superman games out there. And the ones that I've heard of are crap. And this is one of them. This is a crap game. It's too elaborate and too complex for the Atari 2600, right? At one point, you're looking around the city like X-ray vision, but everything looks the same. There's no boundaries. It's like a flat map, if that makes sense. There's no boundaries. There's no like 3D walls, so everything looks the same. When you're looking... See, you're using your X-ray vision to try and find pieces of this bridge. That's what it seems like to me. But nothing has boundaries, nothing has walls, so everything looks the same. It's like if you had a flat sheet of paper and you drew Metropolis, just like the outline of the buildings, of the roofs, of what they look like. And then you had Superman in front of it flying like that, and you had all the bad guys walking around in front of it. And you had a picture of a jail here and a phone booth there. It just looks like slapped onto a flat piece of paper. There's no... A game like this had to be in 3D, but it's not. The Atari 2600 can't do that. So it's just a confusing mess, and it is one of the bad games, in my opinion. So for that, I was hoping so much more from this game. So we'll give it a 4 out of 10. It's just a confusing mess, and you really... I'm surprised I played it for as long as it did to figure all that out. I never actually got all the pieces of the bridge and put it back together because I just lost my patience with it. But it's a shame. So yeah, I mean, so I'll give it a 4 out of 10. It's still playable, but it's just a confusing mess, in my opinion. Right, I don't know how much longer I have left in this video. But I have so many games here. It's unlikely I'll get through them all in this video, So I'll just do what I can, So this is Video Pinball, one of the earliest pinball games I can remember, in 1981. I don't know if this was in the arcade. It probably was, but it's pinball. You all know what pinball is. You hit the ball off the yolks and you get points and stuff. It's a pinball game, and the physics aren't exactly right in this version. The ball is a square, and it's just look more than anything else where the ball goes, even if you hit it the right way with the paddles. The yolks that go up and down like that. You know them yolks. So yeah, it's alright. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's nothing special in my opinion. In my opinion. On to the next game. Kangaroo. Now this is Atari's answer to Donkey Kong. You know, Nintendo had Donkey Kong, so Atari says we'll bring out Kangaroo. Made in 1983. Now that was a bad year for Atari because that was the video game crash. So I doubt this game did very well, but it's a good game. You play as this kangaroo, right, and you have to get your baby that's trapped on the top of the screen. But there's all the stuff out to kill you, like monkeys and other things. Monkeys are the enemies, you know, like because Atari thinks Donkey Kong is the enemy and the enemies are monkeys. And you have these punching boxing gloves so you can punch the monkeys, which is cool. And there's fruit and stuff you can get to get more points, so it's pretty cool. And there's monkeys on the top of the screen throwing stuff down trying to kill you. So it's a very good game and a serious contender to Donkey Kong. But the fact that it came out in 1983 probably didn't help it out at all. Like, if this had come out in 1982 or 1981, it probably would have done a lot better, you know. Because it is a great game, it is a great idea. You know, so yeah, it's just bad timing on Kangaroo's part, you know. So it's still a great game. I'd highly recommend it. So we'll give it 8 out of 10, Kangaroo. Right, I'm gonna do one more game and then I'll wrap it up for this particular video. Because I'm not sure how much time I have left. Because these tablets only have so much room, and I don't want to use up the whole thing just to make this video. Because we've got so many games, we'll be literally here till next day. But we'll do more later at some stage. No, I'll do a part 2 or something. So we'll just do a few more games and then we'll end this particular video. So thanks again for watching, and if you want to leave comments or subscribe or whatever you want to do, thanks very much. Chris actually made this suggestion that I make a video talking about my Atari 2600 games and my memories, so that's what I'm doing. Seems like a good idea, so I'll do it. So yeah, I'm going to do a few more games and end the video. So thanks again for watching. If you want to leave any comments down below, or if you want to subscribe or whatever, thanks very much. So this is Wizard of War, made by CBS in 1982. CBS Toys Division, which is an American television company. You know, this is a great game. It's like Pac-Man, except you're going around with a gun shooting these things. I don't know what they are. They're like animals or something like that, and they get faster and faster. And you have 3 guys, and you have to kill them without getting killed yourself. So it's like Pac-Man only with guns, which is pretty cool. So it's a great, unique game, and in my opinion, CBS make great games for the Atari 2600, you know, and they have their own unique cartridges and stuff. So it's very good. We'll give it 8 out of 10, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video now, and we'll continue later on at some stage with a part 2. I don't know. See, I have so many games. I'm not even halfway through this box of games, you know. I have loads more in that wardrobe there. We'll do one more and then we'll call it a day for this particular video. Okay, so thanks again for your patience and understanding and that. So this is Desert Falcon. This is one of my favourite games on the Atari 2600. Came out in 1987. That was near the end of the Atari 2600's life cycle. A great game. You're just bored with the Falcon flying through the desert, collecting jewels and other treasures and that. And the Sphinxes and other out to kill you. And at the end of every level, you see this thing here. You have to shoot that thing in the face or the mouth to kill it. And the levels get faster and faster. It has an isometric perspective. And you can see the shadow of the board when you go close to the ground or right. So you have the feeling that you actually are flying over the ground, which is pretty good for the Atari 2600. But I don't think this game did very well, because at the time it was going up against the NES with Mega Man and Mario and all that. So, but I enjoyed this game, and I believe it's on the Atari 7800 as well, which is meant to be superior. And I don't think this was an arcade game. I don't remember in the arcades, but it's an awesome game, and I would highly recommend it if you're getting an Atari 2600. And we actually played this game in Chris's house, remember that, you know. And a lot of these other games I probably played in Chris's house as well, but this is one that I definitely do remember playing in Chris's house. So yeah, we'll give it an 8 out of 10. So I'm gonna end the video now, and we'll probably do a part 2, because I got a clear space on my tablet to make another video. So thanks again for watching. If you do watch, I don't think anyone will, but if you do, thanks very much. And this is John Film once again. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. So take care and bye bye. And if you want to leave any comments or make a video yourselves in response or whatever you want to do, just go ahead. And thanks very much. See you. Bye bye.